My name is David Rice, and I would like to introduce myself as the true sci-fi protagonist. Griffin O'Connor, my wife Millie, and myself would like to show the story of our lives as presented in the film Jumper. It is truly deserving of the right to science fiction film. We will show you today that we are deserving of the rights by disproving Inception's ability to fit within the genre. Science fiction is defined as being a literary or cinematic genre in which fantasy forms part of the plot or background. Jumper is a classic sci-fi film that has a clear villain who poses as a direct threat to the protagonist and others, characters with supernatural powers that cannot be replicated with a machine, and self-preservative crime where characters commit crimes to live and do not commit crimes for the sake or the ability to get away with it.
The powers of myself and the other mates cannot be reproduced alright. 'Tis nothing in the universe what can teleport a bloke like this. The nearest piece of shite tech that will give us a run for our money would be Roland's device that keeps the wormholes open, letting the man follow through to wherever the jumper last jumped. I mean, it's like a replication, but there's got to be a jumper go through before the bloody trackers can follow us. There's got to be a jumper, we've got to jump. Without that jump, there would be no wormhole to follow through.
Jumper's Roland Cox is a classic science fiction antagonist. He is constantly hunting me using high-level technology. Roland uses a machine to trap me and other jumpers, people who can teleport all over the world. The machine puts thousands of volts of electricity through a jumper's body and traps them. He is also able to track a jumper by using a machine to keep the teleport wormhole open. Exhibit A shows these machines in use.
It's kind of hard to jump with 1,000 volts of electricity passing through your brain, huh?
These are obviously high-tech, another classic sign of science fiction.
As for the crimes committed, they were done in an act of self-preservation. There is no job in the market for jumpers. They have to live somehow. It is simply a matter of how each of them make their living. For example, David needs to obtain money from banks in order to live. He even intends to pay the money back if he ever gets the money. Exhibit C shows this clearly. This leads to the classic science fiction sign of a morally gray character who attempts to do the right thing and happens to go about it in a wrong way. In conclusion, I continue my previous statement that Jumper is truly deserving to the rights of the sci-fi film genre. Jumper shows 3 strong points that support this claim. Roland Cox, the main antagonist, is the clear villain who, throughout the movie, possesses a threat to myself and my family. David's powers cannot be replicated through the use of machine or other medium, though Cox may try. Their use of crime is solely for self-preservation purposes. In these ways, Jumper proves that it is a true sci-fi film.
My name is Dominic Cobb, and my team and I are going to prove Inception is a true science fiction movie. Arthur, Ariadne, and I are going to show this by defining what it means to be in the science fiction genre. Science fiction is commonly defined as fiction dealing principally with the impact of actual or imagined science on society or individuals, or having a scientific factor as an essential orienting component, with more emphasis on science rather than fantasy. Inception is a fantastic example of a sci-fi film that has a threatening antagonist who has a direct link to the protagonist's destruction, futuristic scientific machinery that can do extraordinary things, and a crime committed for the greater good.
My name is Arthur. While we do not have a supernatural ability to directly compare to jumpers, our technology outweighs the supernatural ability within the science fiction genre. Our dream-sharing machine, the Passive, is a top example of a science fiction machine. We use this technology to literally share a dream with others. We can even go as far as to create a dream within a dream within a dream. Theoretically, we could have an infinite number of dreams within the dreams. With this futuristic technology, we will fit perfectly within the science fiction genre.
Inception is a case where science fiction has multiple antagonists. However, one in particular fits the genre of science fiction incredibly well. This character is Mal, the mental projection of my late wife. While in the dream state, she appears out of nowhere and will attack any of the dreamers, myself included. And that can risk the lives of the entire team, depending on who sees her and what she does. She's clearly a threat to the protagonist, as her actions will ruin their lives. Exhibit B shows this clearly.
No use threatening him in a dream, right, Ma?
That depends on what you're threatening. Killing him would just wake him up. But pain. Pain is in the mind.
As you can see, she is the pinnacle of a science fiction antagonist.
The crimes committed in Inception are ones for the greater good. For example, we planted the idea of breaking up Mr. Fisher's company because it would have grown to become an energy superpower and monopolize global energy, effectively ruling the world. This had to be prevented in order to prevent global domination. We needed to commit a crime to save the masses. A theme common amongst sci-fi fiction genre. We from Inception, in conclusion, continue our claim that we are truly deserving to the rights of the sci-fi film genre. We do this through the following traits. Mal is the main protagonist who threatens the characters' lives throughout the movie until she's defeated. Our technology is advanced and its purpose is more than anything current technology could dream of. And the crimes our team commits are for the greater good. In these ways, Inception proves that we are the true sci-fi film.
Mal is not a true antagonist because she's a projection within your mind. There's no real threat from her. She could easily be avoided by not allowing you to join the missions. Roland poses a direct threat to us and cannot be easily deterred. Your crimes are not always for the greater good either. You started out as a team of thieves. Doing one good deed does not immediately cancel out the bad you've done, and there's a lot of it. Jumper's crimes are made ones of self-preservation. When you are constantly hunted, it becomes difficult to make a living, but not like you would know.
All right. Well, for starters, your supernatural powers are well on their way to being replicated. I mean, Roland already owns a machine that can follow a jumper through the wormhole he left. It's only going to be a matter of time before that machine can jump on its own. Check yourself. While our crimes were not always for the greater good, your crimes were never for the greater good. Even if we give the benefit of the doubt here and say a jumper cannot work under the radar, I don't know, McDonald's seem pretty under the radar to me. Living in an upscale New York apartment paid by robbing banks of thousands of dollars is not exactly scraping by and self-preserving. While we may have started as thieves, we have changed our ways. I have spent years of my life just trying to get back to my kids. The rest of my team helped plant this idea in Fisher's mind to stop a global superpower from taking over the world. We had to top it off. Character development, whereas you remained stagnant.
But awesome.
Is that it? Yeah.